Personally, this is one of my favorite books and movies because it talks about women's self worth and finding her true person and finding yourself and finding the strength to pretty much stand up to other people. And to help this, I need you to do me a favor. You guys just hit that like button and share this video with your friends and relatives so that we can get this series going. And now, without further ado, let's dive into The Color Purple. Actually, I'm going to talk about the film first, and I will be talking about the book in a different episode, so stay tuned for that, guys. So, what happened in the beginning of the book is that it follows two girls named Celie and Nettie. They're both sisters, and they're growing up in the rural south of Georgia that's taking place in the early 20th century, where they don't absolutely have the most happy life because they're poor farmers, and unfortunately their mother is really sick, so she can't really take care of them like properly. So with that being said, they have a very nasty stepfather named Alfonso who pretty much beats Celie and rapes her frequently. As a matter of fact, she's only 14 years old, so that's a bummer. Seriously, a bummer. And on top of that, he rapes her and has two children with her. And so she has really, no one to really talk to except God, whom she expresses her feelings to. So, yeah, unfortunately for Celie. And she gets pregnant twice with a baby boy named Adam and a baby girl named Olivia, but this jerk of a father, well, should I say stepfather, takes the babies away and sells them to a married couple who's a pastor and his wife, Kareen, which we'll learn about that later. Anyway, so some time goes by, and a guy named Mr., aka Albert, is a farmer who needs a wife and needs to watch over his kids because his first wife had passed away, unfortunately. And he has taken great interest in Nettie. But because Alfonso is also interested in Nettie, which is very disgusting. Like, how can you like a 14-year-old girl and like her younger sister? I mean, like, get a life, dude. Anyway, so originally he wants Nettie, but instead of getting Nettie, Alfonso gives him Celie because he wants Nettie for himself, which that kind of upsets Mister, but he takes the deal anyway and a free cow. But the marriage is joyless and that he frequently beats Celie and his kids, including his son Harpo, harasses Celie from time to time. Some more time goes by and Nettie actually runs away from Alfonso and the house that they actually belong to them. She runs away and takes refuge at Celie and Mister's house, aka Albert. For the sake of clarity, I'm just gonna call him Albert. So Nettie pretty much stays with Celie and stays with them for a while until Albert makes sexual advances towards Nettie, but she pretty much refuses him, and so she's forced to leave. So she tells Celie that she promised to write to her, but only death can keep her from it. But Alfonso takes the letters and hides them from Celie so that way she can't see them, and because of this, Celie automatically assumes that her sister is dead, unfortunately. So some more times goes by, and Albert has a secret lover named Shug Avery, who's pretty much has alcohol poisoning, and so she comes to their farm and actually stays with them. At first, Shug is actually rude to Celie but eventually the two of them grows closer and has a strong bond. Meanwhile, Albert's son Harpo falls in love with a girl named Sophia, and she's very big and spunky, where she pretty much takes no crap from any guy. And I can describe for myself that I'm kind of like Sophia, but only thing I just don't fight like her. Anyway, so um, Albert tells Harpo that he should probably try to control Sophia by beating her, but that doesn't really work out well because Harpo pretty much always turns out to always be beaten up by I'm sorry, by Sophia by having black eyes and bruises on his face. And eventually Sophia is actually tired of trying to be dominated by men, and so she takes her kids and leave Harpo eventually, and that pretty much gets her into trouble with the mayor and his wife, and she's arrested and put in jail for 8 years. Not able to see her kids, and she became the maid of Miss Millie, which is the mayor's wife. What a bummer, and it's kind of bad for Sophia. Anyway, so meanwhile, back at the farm, Shug and Seely is growing closer and closer each and every day, and Shug is actually showing Seely that she should fight back against injustice and always stood out for herself. And she's also shows the letters that see that I like the color purple. I love it. It's my favorite show and movie. But um so Seely pretty much is overjoyed that her sister is in fact not dead and contemplates on not killing Mister. And if I were Seely, I probably would try and kill him too, but I wouldn't do that. I'm just joking, guys. But anyway, so Shug pretty much um so pretty much Shug tells Seely not to basically stand up for herself, but so wait, no, I'm sorry. Sophia tells Seely to don't kill Mister, being that she knows that breaking the law is not the best thing to do, so she pulls her out of it. And then Seely eventually just moves to Memphis, where she becomes a seamstress and makes a whole lot of money off of that. Meanwhile, Alfonso, which is their stepfather, dies, and Seely comes back down south and inherits the house. So afterwards, it's a joyous time for Seely because Nettie comes back with with Seely's children who never died. They grown up together, and so everybody's pretty much happy that um they reunited together, and it's pretty much a happy ending. Me and myself, when I first saw this movie, I actually cried at the end because it's like you're basically getting back together with your family, and family really does matter, you guys. Like, no matter if you guys fight or um or whatever. So yeah, family really does matter, and it's important for us females to actually stand up for ourselves and actually talk about stuff that is not right in our lives. So yeah, like my message to you girls out there, if there's something in your life that's not treating you right or whatever, you stand up and you talk about it. Like, don't just sit there and take crap. Like, don't do it. Because if Celie is able to overcome abuse and hatred against women and stuff like that, and she be happy at the end, trust me, it's a rewarding feeling. So with that note, The Color Purple ends with a happy reuniting. So so with that being said, I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of a musical note to leave you guys with that with on that note. So without further ado, say hello to my friend Blue Kitty. Yeah, I had her for about 3 years, so I'm gonna play you guys a little bit of a tune. So you guys are gonna enjoy it. Oh yeah, and when I play this tune, I want you guys to leave your opinions in the comments and see if you guys can recognize this tune that I'm gonna play for you guys. So listen closely. Oops. Wait, hold on. Thank you. And that is the end of my show. So if you enjoy it, I want you to hit that like button and share it with your friends and family so that way we can get the stories going on, and you know we can actually get this party started. So on that note, oh, and I see that you guys want me to play more, so I guess I can play you guys just one more song. Just give me 1 second. Hold on a second. Ah, hot cross buns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Okay, so that is a classic single string songs. So let me know how you guys unlike the music. So again, my name is Princess Ocean, and remember, you guys are my river fans.